Today in Getting Real with the Housewives, Dolores Catania and Jennifer Aydin tease their upcoming season of Real Housewives of New Jersey after Us Weekly reports that Teresa and Melissa aren't speaking.
Time for them to be the only ones to deal with that stuff. Like the whole world has been in on their relationship for so long.
Plus, Shannon Beador fires back at Gina for saying she needs to go to rehab.
Since Gina started the show, that of unkind things that she's done towards me every single year. So, you know, just add this year to the list.
And Whitney Rose reveals where she and Justin stand after their marital issues.
The balance of work, life, kids, marriage had to be reset.
We got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here, and welcome to another big week of Getting Real with the Housewives. Things are heating up in the OC and in Salt Lake City. Loving this new season so far. Before we get into all the news, let's see what you guys had to say about last week's show. Dan says, I was really close to giving new RHONY a shot until I watched it, and I actually dig the entire cast. They casted well. I take it all back. I told you it was good. If you give it a chance, you will like it. I'm definitely liking this season as well. We'll talk about it a little bit coming up. But Dana Jones says Kim and Croy are embarrassing. Yeah, at this point, we have some news about them coming up soon as well. At this point, it seems it's a lot of back and forth, and maybe they should keep things a little bit more private. And then finally, one user says, I think Heather is going to be making a move to Beverly Hills. Well, as we know, she definitely did make the move to Beverly Hills. We don't know if this will be the end of her run on OC. A lot of the OC housewives that I've spoke to don't seem to think that that's the case, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see. All right, moving on to our news of the week. Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga are both filming season 14 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but that doesn't mean everything is hunky-dory between the feuding sisters-in-law. Not that we thought that it would be. Multiple sources tell Us Weekly exclusively that Teresa and Melissa are keeping their distance as they film with the other New Jersey housewives. Melissa is open to filming and talking with Teresa on camera, but Teresa is not. Producers are trying to capture other stories. Now, the duo recently filmed together at the annual charity baseball game organized by Dolores, but multiple eyewitnesses told us that Melissa and Teresa didn't interact at all. They said Melissa and Teresa still don't speak to each other. The rest of the cast was working overtime to go back and forth to talk to both of them and have different conversations with each of them. So now I recently caught up with Dolores and Jennifer at the recent VMAs this week, and here's what they had to say about how dynamics have shifted this season. Take a look.
How are things evolving maybe with Melissa and Teresa this season?
I think wait and see.
Yeah, I try not to comment on it because, you know, for me, I'm like sometimes in a weird spot with that. So
I think it's time that, it's time for them to be the only ones to deal with that stuff. Like the whole world has been in on their relationship for so long. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
everybody,
everybody,
for them to just be by themselves.
They're the only ones who know what they know.
I know Teresa is 1 year into her marriage. Is she still as happy as she was day one?
Happier. They're so
I love them as a couple.
You should have seen them at the baseball game, like stealing kisses in between. It's so cute. They're really wet still.
They're a beautiful couple.
It seems like they are very, very happy. Yes, definitely. So if you could sum up how the season is going in just a few words, what would it be?
Evolving.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Yeah. I did see that Jackie commented on Teresa's post the other day. I'm like, oh, is that we're evolving?
Like she said.
Like you said, surprising relationships. I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Yeah, they wouldn't give too much, which I kind of expected, but it does say that their, dynamics are evolving. But I mean, I'm kind of happy that we're going to be exploring different relationships and different storylines this season. I don't know if I can go through another season of the Teresa, Melissa, Joe Gorga drama. It's kind of getting a little stale. So hopefully we'll be able to, get to know other people on different levels. I'm gonna make bets that at the New Jersey finale of next season, they will all come together and that's what we will be talking about, but I don't know. Prove me wrong. All right, well, moving on to Croy and Kim, because another week, another story about the two of them. And their relationship status, as we know, is constantly changing, but there are no plans to call off their divorce, at least according to Croy. So Croy's attorney told us, I spoke with Croy regarding the reconciliation Kim announced over the weekend. There is no reconciliation. His resolve to see this divorce through to the end has not wavered. So last weekend, Kim gave an update on her relationship, saying on Instagram that she and Croy were working on their marriage and had been living as husband and wife. However, a source did tell Us Weekly where they currently stood as a couple is that they're all over the place. It's a constant yo-yo that never seems to end. moment. They're back together today, but they could be off tomorrow. It's like a hamster wheel. It just keeps running and running and running. I don't feel like they're going to get back together 100%. I feel like these financial situations is just going to be an anchor and just weigh them down. And I don't know if they can crawl their way back out of this, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened in the Housewives universe. All right, moving on over to Beverly Hills. Taylor Armstrong is sharing her love for her friend and former co-star Kyle Richards amid her separation from Mauricio. She said on Watch What Happens Live recently, "You know how much I love Kyle and I want Kyle to be happy and I love them both so much." So while discussing Kyle's relationship, Taylor asserted that the couple are always going to love each other, adding, "I want everyone to be happy. I'm so neutral on that whole issue." Now, it does seem like there's a lot of love there. I actually caught up with Mauricio this past week at the Dancing with the Stars red carpet. I asked if Kyle was going to be in the audience. He said yes. He said that she's clearing her calendar to be there, as well as their girls. He found out about Dancing with the Stars while they were on a family vacation in Italy. Either they're fooling us all and they're still, together, or they're just really great at being co-parents now and being friends. I feel like this is not the end of Kyle and Mauricio. I feel like, they're working through some things and kind of evolving into this next stage of their relationship. I'm not sure. I would love to know what you guys have to think about it, so let me know in the comments. All right, moving on over to OC, and while things seem good between Shannon Beador and Gina, it appears that off-camera things are heating up. So Gina recently came down, sat down in our studio right here to talk about how she is not happy with Shannon about her CPS comment and said that Shannon needs rehab. Well, we caught up with Shannon. She was not happy about this. She was fired, and she fired back. So take a look. Shannon, I want to give you a chance because I know that I spoke to Gina recently and she did have some things to say about you. And I know that some of those things definitely, I'm sure, probably were upsetting.
Well, pretty much most of it was.
Yeah.
I did make a comment that I regret. And I think it was taken out of context or expanded more. I did make a comment that, had the officers come to arrest her and her kids were there, they would have taken them temporarily. It didn't mean that her children would ever be put in the system because she wasn't a good mother. That was never the case. So I apologize for that. But for her to come at me and say that I need and I'm not looking at my life and that I have
A drinking problem.
and then I have done I've done things where they could come after me legally. It's like,
What did you do?
I haven't. So
Yeah.
I think she needs to take a little step back and maybe not make Shannon Beador her storyline every season.
Yeah. Did you feel like that's what she did this season?
Well, I think that's pretty much what she's done every season.
Yeah,
She comes
I
after
see
me.
it from a viewer standpoint now, and I adore and love Shannon. And,
Yeah.
I've been with her drinking, I've been with her not drinking, and Shannon's great fun. But when you don't have your own life storyline, you go and attack other people, and that's where I have a real problem with it. If they put cameras on me right now, they're going to believe, like, holy shit, how did she get all this done one day? Like,
Right.
I have staff. I have a relationship just starting that I'm protective of, and I have my kids. My daughter lives in Oklahoma now, and 4 grandchildren. It's just not. I don't have to go after somebody to create a storyline for myself. My life is a storyline. It is. I'm falling and tripping and acting like an asshole a lot of times, but it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I would never go on a show going, okay, what can I do this season? I know I'm going to bring Heather down and bring Shannon down. It's not even in my thought process. So when I see this happening, what is their storyline? What is their substance? What are they known for? Right. Attacking other women? No.
Right.
There's a list of things since Gina started the show of unkind things that she's done towards me every single year. So, just add this year to the list.
And it's a hurtful accusation to say
Absolutely.
that you have
Well, it's inaccurate.
Right.
Let's look at other people on the show this season who've been drinking a lot.
Yeah, it seems like these really intense accusations are going back and forth between the two of them. Shannon said that they talked about things at the reunion. She still has a lot of questions and is pretty fired up and not too happy about Gina. So I don't think that friendship is going to be mended anytime soon. All right, well, Salt Lake City is underway, and when the trailer dropped, many were concerned that Whitney Rose and her husband Justin were headed towards a split. Well, we are here to tell you, spoiler alert, that these two seem to be back on track, and she told us what was at the root of their problem. I know in the trailer we do see maybe some marital issues, but things seem okay.
Yeah, I know everyone's so concerned
Yes.
about Justin and I. We are fine. I think the difference is we just have cameras pointing in our face. Our marriage isn't any different than anyone else's. We just share it. Whether people like it or not.
Right.
We're not sharing cringy things anymore.
No, no more.
Yeah, I think, you know, he didn't work for a year. I got used to having him at home, and I just focused on my businesses. So the balance of work, life, kids, marriage had to be reset.
Yeah, and do you feel like you are in a better place now?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
We're working on our communication, and it really helps. And my husband is so supportive. I mean, look at what he supported me through with my own family, my dad.
Right.
You know, my healing journey. Just being a housewife, starting my businesses, my kids. I mean, he's so supportive.
Yeah. Were you ever hesitant about bringing cameras into your home? Because you see all the time housewives' marriages crumble, you know, maybe being on the show, maybe because it puts a magnifying glass on some issues. Were you ever hesitant about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was, my family was the one thing that I was very hesitant, but would have stopped me from not doing it, is my family. And, because we're unique and we're all very open and vulnerable and wear our hearts on our sleeves, and I didn't want it to change, but also I know what that comes with.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're fine. Justin was here in studio with us, and he was lovely, and they seem to be just getting back on track. But I'm loving this season of Salt Lake City so far. We got to see Trixie Mattel in this past week's episode, and Whitney causing some drama, bringing Angie K to the girls trip, even though she wasn't invited. I love this petty drama. It brings me right back. And I have to say, I'm really not missing Jen Shah. I think Monica is a great new addition. What a story. I hope to get to talk to her soon, but there's a lot of different, moving, interesting parts, and I love that Lisa and Meredith are friends again. I think it's going to make for a really great season. All right, well, let's get into our social spotlight of the week, and mine goes to Jenna Lyons because she shared some backstage, behind-the-scenes moments of her New York Magazine shoot. I love this because I feel like Jenna is getting a lot of flack this season. Yes, she doesn't like to fly coach, but you're Jenna Lyons. You don't have to. I feel like the ladies are really going in on her, and she's just like, where is this coming from? I'm not used to these girls' trips. What did I get myself into? I feel like Jenna probably asks herself that on a daily. And maybe watching that back, she's like, I can't believe I did this. But what a gift she is. And I think it's great. And I know that our viewers aren't totally on board with RHONJ, but please give it a chance. Like one of our viewers, they were swayed. So please give it a chance. Let us know what you think. And that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Salt Lake City. Do you think Gina and Shannon will be friends again? And if you like Jenna Lyons as a new housewife. All right, that's it for this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.